I didn't think we would be playing the dulls today. I thought there was a miscommunication. I thought we were doing Mario Party at noon Eastern. Instead, we're doing it at noon Pacific. So now I'm here. Look at my freaking you know what. You ever see Singles Inferno? For YouTube, we were just talking about another South Korean reality show, Culinary Class Wars. I think is pretty good. I did see Singles Inferno. Singles Inferno might be the show that made me realize that I'm just not going to watch any dating show, reality show ever again, because it's just, at this point in my life, I find it supremely uninteresting. Well, I did see a couple episodes of like Love After Divorce too. Like you got to get, South Korea's putting out new reality shows every 3 seconds, I would say. I think that it's just, I watched, I watched Too Hot to Handle for like 4 episodes. I watched Love Island for like 2 episodes. And I honestly, this is very rude, okay? I know, because someone in chat said Korea is like slop maxing. Yes, some of the shows are slop. There's no doubt. But like, the thing that really burned me up about Too Hot to Handle, and this is, I'm not trying to put on airs, I'm not trying to flex, is that the people weren't even like hot. They were just like predominantly kind of stupid, which made it a very irritating watch. Like that was the show where it was like if you start with like 100 grand in the pot, and then if like anybody kisses, they take out like 2 grand or something like that. And it was just watching that show was frustrating, not even because like the money that was coming out of the pot, but more just because watching the conversations that these 6 wannabe influencers who hail predominantly from the north of England were having in their downtime made me want to cancel my Netflix subscription. At least on Singles Inferno, the people that were on the show were speaking a different language, so I could only understand via the subtitles, which just gives a buff. You're like, oh, they must be saying something intelligent because of the fact that I'm reading it instead of listening to it. So, I mean, I didn't finish either of them, but Too Hot to Handle, I think, actually was one of those shows that you would like, it almost feels like a show out of Idiocracy. Like, it was a show that was like a harbinger for societal decline. I'm not saying what I make is any better, but long story short, like I'm just not watching any dating shows anymore because it's just, I don't know. It's the sloppiest of the slop. I'm not watching much of anything, but I'm certainly not watching any dating shows. Even cooking shows, I mean, it's like I can look at it and be like, I love food. So there's something there, but the dating shows, there was one that was good. It's a South Korean show called Jock. And the reason it was good is because of like, instead of 21-year-old wannabe influencers from the Midlands, it was like divorced middle-aged people from South Korea. And then they had them live in a house together for like 4 days. And at the end of, or maybe it was a week, but at the end of the week, like 90% of them were like, yeah, I don't really feel like a connection with anyone here. But it was largely just like normal people interacting. Wojak? Wojak. Wife Jack. Can I say, by the way, Wife Jack is popping off on Twitter right now. We don't have to take it so seriously, okay? So there's been a lot of pushback on Wife Jack. I saw a Wife Jack meme that made me laugh this morning. And it was, imagine you're looking into the windshield of the car, and there's, Wojak was driving the car, Wife Jack was in the passenger seat, and then the caption just said, audible gasp for no reason. And I said, you know what? That's real, man. That is fucking true. I saw that one. You will be driving the car sometimes, and your wife or your girlfriend in the passenger seat will just go, oh my God. And you're like, what? And then it's like, remember that restaurant that opened on West 2nd? And you're like, I thought we were going to die, man. Anyway, Final evolution dragon. You ever hear of Dragonite? Yeah, I'm sure. Final evolution fighting. Yeah, I'm thinking Machamp, guys. Kalos. Can somebody tell me what Kalos is? Gen 6 X and Y? I don't even know who's on the cover, man. I guess that would be... Is that the one that introduced, like, Charizard Mega X and Mega Y? Who are unselectable? Anyway, I guess they don't originate from that region anyway. Ghost Dragon. Ghost fighting. Fucking bullshit. We get this all the time. Pisses me the fuck off. Fighting evolved by item. Fuck you, bro. Ipalm? Am I crazy to think Ambipom evolved? Oh, that's only in Pogo. That's only in Pogo. Only in Pogo do they do that. Fuck you. I'm fucked, man. I don't know. I'm fucked. I don't know how to do this. Ghost Dragon, Ghost Fighting, Ghost Kalos. Okay, Ghost Kalos, Chandelure. Okay, fucking, there's one Goregeist. Goregeist, or I don't know, maybe fucking Poltegeist. Maybe Goregeist average. Yes! Oh, Ghost. There's a lot of Geists in there. Polchuggeist. Seismitoad, Ice-Q Ice, Ice-Q Noise? Oh, man. Dude, Sinistea and Sinischa. Yo. When the T bites back, my man. I got 3 guesses left. Ghost Dragon, Ghost Fight. It's not going to happen. Final Evolution Kalos. Empoleon. That's, you know, it's got to be after that. What does Grookey turn into, man? Crocodile? Just type Hog. Maybe you'll find something there. Hoopa Unbound? Hoopa Unbound. Evolved by item. Chemical roaming. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, absolutely no clue. Greninjas from this generation. Okay, Slurpuff. Not familiar with you. I am familiar with you. What did we miss on this one? This is evolved by item fighting? Now, I'll just... Dude, fair enough. This is Poliwrath evolves by an item in Gen 1. A Waterstone. I just forgot, man. I just forgot. Kingdra evolves by item. Fair enough. And it's a dragon. Trade Evos also count as items for some reason. Is that relevant in this situation? I'm not asking condescendingly. I'm just... guys, I've seen this house in 27 movies. Like, I'm pretty sure that this is... There's something about Mary. Am I crazy? I'm so cooked if this is... There's... Oh... Well, it looks an awful lot like Ferris Bueller's Day Off or something. Is that Joe Pantoliano? That's crazy, man. I don't know what to say. It just has the same kind of lighting as like a Pleasantville. Tom Cruise and I know this guy, Bronson Pinchot. It must be risky business. Tom Cruise is in high school. Okay. I think this house is from There's Something About Mary, man. I know that sounds like an insane statement. Is there any way that we could check on this? That is Serge from Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, that's Joey Pantoliano, man. You could tell. That wouldn't have helped me. I haven't seen Risky Business. That probably would have helped me. Jennifer Lawrence was in this, man. Wasn't she like -7 when the movie came out? You haven't seen it? Nah, I'll add it to the list. I hear it's really good, like unironically. With Le'Veon Bell sitting out due to a contract dispute, this Steelers RB rushed for 973 yards and 12 TDs in 2018. George Pickens. I don't know it. Jose Canseco launched a career-high 46 home runs during his lone season with this American League East team in 1998. Toronto Blue Jays. I remember that season. Canseco, Jose Cruz Jr., maybe Roger Clemens. What Eastern Conference franchise has never made a conference finals appearance? It's got to be the Columbus Blue Jackets, bro. It's crazy. There's 16 teams in the East. That instantly popped into my head. It's so sad that that's easy. I apologize if you're a Columbus fan. I know what it's like. I was rooting for you in like that 08 series over Detroit. I think you got swept, but like... South Carolina borders only 2 states, North Carolina and this state, Georgia. If you live in the United States and you got that wrong, you should be able to punch George W. Bush in the face. He screwed you. Because that is the easiest American geography question that could possibly count as a quote-unquote trivia question. 2 celebrities here. That's like Gerard Butler. It's crazy to say this. Kristen Stewart? Before you're letting the beard cloud your vision. Do the little periscope before you judge me. It could be, like the eyes are quite striking. It could be Cara Delevingne, but it's just not quite right for Cara Delevingne. I think it's Kristen Stewart, man. I think it's Aung San Suu Kyi. Oh! Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I see you typing Olivia Wilde in chat. Doesn't look like Olivia Wilde at all. You haven't seen We Love America? Chibley would laugh if he was here. Founded in 1862, the King of Rums and There's Nothing in the Way are slogans for this brand of spirits, originally known for its Cuban white rum. Bacardi? It's not Captain Morgan. The History Channel debuted this reality show in 2010 that featured Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz buying antiques and collectibles. I've never seen it. Is it possible this show could be called American Pickers? It fucking is, man. I see it on hotel TVs all the time. I kind of opted out at Storage Wars when it comes to shows like that, but I am aware of the show American Pickers. Johnny Depp Army Hammer. This movie is called The Lone Ranger. And I was thinking about her, thinking about me, thinking about us, what we gonna be, are the opening lyrics to what 2010 Nelly song? I did not hear any Nelly songs made after 2003. This song is called My Lover. It's not Jump for My Love. It's probably Lover. It's probably My Love is the Show. I'll take that, though. 7, average score 4. Okay, the geography question. Honestly, if you're from Canada or Mexico, you should also know this one, but I can understand not knowing it, but that was on the radio in the late 00s. Yeah, you know what wasn't on the radio in the late 00s? My fucking ears, bro. I was plugging the aux in to my Creative Zen jukebox. It's a 2010 song. Yeah. Yeah, I know. What was I listening to then? If I had to guess, probably I'm going back. Hot Chip One Life Stands is my guess. And then that Flaming Lips album that was surprisingly good. That had the frog song with Karen O on it. Deer Hunter. I was listening to a lot of Deer Hunter. I'm not saying you gotta hand it to them, but I was listening to a lot of Ariel Pink and the Haunted Graffiti. Na 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 dum ticka dum 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 na 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 na. That was before we didn't know. We didn't know. Okay. I was listening to a lot of girls. You remember that? Are they still around? Oh, I wish I had a boyfriend. I wish I had a loving man in my life. I wish I had a father. How do you know all this stuff? Because I wasn't diluting my fucking artistic diet with Nelly's Just a Dream, okay? It's that simple. The song is fire. Yeah, I bet it goes crazy when you're dancing 18 inches away from the girl you've had a crush on for 3 years at your middle school dance. Unfortunately, I can't relate to that because I was born 6 years before you. So for me, that was probably like Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer or something. Stop. You guys are coming for the chest and then get mad when I hit you in the head, okay? It's called self-defense. Baby buggy bumper. Rubber baby buggy bumper. Interesting. Spotty, glitchy, erratic, buggy. What is Netflix when you're trying to watch the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight? Not working reliably, I'll say, buddy. Meth streams comes through in the clutch at least. Grill, bumper, mirror, rim. Parts of an automobile. Car parts. Boy band. Rubber band. Tribute band, wedding band. Different types of bands. Baby, house, plant, pet. Parts of the American dream. What a sitter might sit. Oh. What a delectable. That's not a real word. Delectable. What a delectable piece of intellectual gristle. Cheers to the mentat. We've been kind of cooking on connections lately. Plants are pretty cool. They should make some that like aren't poisonous to animals. This is where you all type like the same one. Get a succulent. Fuck you. Make the ones that look cool, not poisonous. We have the power, man. Can't you just like fucking splice the genes of the cactus into the genes of the flower that looks awesome but is deadly poisonous to cats? This is only a test. Drink that might be hard to sip through a straw. Not a shake. Vital body part, organ. Nick with 2 Best Actor nominations. Nolte. Thoughtful as a gesture. Kind of blanket or pillow. Excellent golf score. Footwear with wheels or a blade. Palindromic principle. Hermes and Hercules to Zeus. It was shake. It's a pretty simple one. Sub 30? Sub 30 is pretty... What's our best ever? Is like 13 or something? You see, Tenet is getting some respect again. It's going to take... It's like the exodus from Twitter. You know, the first few just sort of like bubble, but they don't boil over in the pot. But eventually, you're going to end up having to clean your stove. Why are they glazing it now? Because of Robert Pattinson's fucking incredible dialogue at the end of the movie? I have a feeling for me, this is the end of a beautiful friendship. But for you, it's just the beginning. Our relationship is a temporal pincer attack, and you're only in the middle right now. John David Washington. No! Because they're in love. But, like, are they going to date? No, man, they're in love. They don't want to sully it with a relationship. Putting a box around it could only inhibit it. They're soulmates. They're destined to do this forever, man. Too real. What the hell is this, man? Kirkland's signature roasted chicken and Swiss roller tray. Are these cinnamon buns? This is guy. I don't know if this is guy chow or wife slop. I feel like it's got to be wife slop because guy chow, the guy would not cut the wrap. He would just eat the wrap. He would be like, what's the point? I'm making guy chow. There's no point in like dressing it up. But wife slop, I could see a wife being like, I love my husband. I'm going to make the wrap look a little cooler. Yeah, I could see that. I'm going to say this is wife slop. Not pejoratively, by the way. And like, I'm being begrudgingly admirant. You bring it to a party? Really? I can understand showing up with charcuterie or like a cheese and crackers or something like that with some grapes on the side, some pickles nobody's going to eat, unfortunately. Gai Chow, G-A-I space C-I-A-O. Yeah. I think I had that at dim sum. I'll take 2 plates of Gai Chow. I don't know, 12 of these? I have to imagine these are under $1 each, because this is like... So listen, okay, I don't want to flex on you. I go to parties now and then, and some of these parties have hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres might be the most overrated food on the planet. They come around with a little platter. It's got a dozen individual bites. You would think that because the portion size is so small... that the bites must be delicious. Occasionally you get like something wrapped in bacon or prosciutto. Okay, maybe you get like an asparagus wrapped in prosciutto, and you're like, that's fantastic. 96% of them are just different variations on shoving cream cheese inside of something that it doesn't naturally come into. So you bite it, your teeth breach the surface, your mouth is flooded with cream cheese, and you go, it's not bad, but it's like... I just didn't expect there to be that much cream cheese. They got to up their hors d'oeuvres game. Anyway, that's... sorry. What was I talking about? There's 12 of these. I think this is $7.99. That's psychotic. Isn't this like 2 wraps cut up into 6 pieces? I mean, you're paying like a huge premium. $10.99. There's nobody in history has ever purchased this from Costco. Nobody in history has ever paid $1.08 per spiral for Kirkland Signature roasted chicken and Swiss roller tray 12 count. No shot, bro. This might be the worst value in Costco. That's reasonable? Brother, it's like $6.50 a wrap from Costco. It's fresh. Is it 12 rolls or 12 trays? It's not 12 trays. That's like in the other direction. That's even scarier. Because that's like 8 cents a spiral, and you can't get garbage for that. That's like the cost of like bulk broken glass or something. But I mean, this is crazy. You would not catch me doing it. I mean, I've said this before. When my parents are staying with us, I love wraps because my mom makes me a wrap for lunch every day. When it comes to my own dietary decisions, when I'm independent, I'm not fucking with wraps too much. I much prefer a sandwich if I'm going to buy one or make one myself. The exception would be, you know, if you're getting like shawarma or something like that, I can understand. Kebab. But otherwise, if we're putting lunch meat in some kind of carbohydrate-based vessel, I am a sandwich guy over a wrap for sure. But I think it's just because a sandwich is like somewhat unpretentious. And a wrap, despite being like nutritionally equivalent, has the air of like if someone's eating a wrap, I'm like, they think they're better than me. Like, I'm not eating a lot of carbohydrates. I don't eat bread anymore. Instead of 230 grams of carbohydrates, pieces of bread, I eat 160 gram of carbohydrates tortilla. Fuck you. Hop on the bike. Push the pedals. Let's see who's got a full glycogen store right now, you motherfucker. The voices are back. I love bread, man. You know what? The reason I love bread is because I feel like store-bought bread sucks ass usually, but fresh baked bread from a bakery is elevated. It's amazing. But like a wrap is always the same. No one's ever like, I got to go to the bakery to pick up some wraps. They're always like, hey, let me stop by Safeway real quick. There's a sale on like Wonder Wraps. Tortilla is kind of a different story, but I mean, as soon as you're using a tortilla, it's the wrap versus tortilla, you know, I couldn't tell you stochastically what the difference is, but I know it when I taste it. Let's put it that way. I've been wasting all my wraps. I need to grow up. You don't need to grow up, but just buy bread. Because like if you have too much bread, you're like, yes, I'm such a carb-filled bread cell. Eating bread, putting butter on it, dipping the bread in the hummus, making toast, making a sandwich, cutting it up, making croutons, you know? When you have like extra wraps, you're like, what the fuck am I going to do with these wraps? Then the most annoying motherfucker you've never met is going to be like, if you spray them with Pam and put them in the air fryer for 8 minutes, they turn into pita chips. Man, fuck you. Nobody's doing that shit. I'm waiting until they turn blue in 2 months and I'm putting them in the compost bin. Venezuela. This is why I can't do a 30-minute dulse. It's the furthest country on the planet from Venezuela. Hear me out. Tajikistan. You remember anything about Tajikistan? Has the most mountains per capita in Central Asia. Ukraine is cooler. Myanmar? He's so smart. It's not Myanmar. Am I crazy to say Laos? Vietnam? Mystery countries, Vietnam. It's that easy. Is this part of the midlife crisis where a rant goes on for 10 minutes over a wrap from Costco? Who's having a crisis, brother? You're the one watching. But you know what a quarter life crisis is? Oh, guys, I'm thinking about changing my league main. What the fuck are you talking about? I take offense to that remark. Come join us in the real world whenever you're ready. $60 a year for a membership, $120 for the executive. You get 2% cash back. Up to a maximum, I think, of $1,000 refunded annually. But still, it's if you go there, if you buy all your meat there and maybe like protein powder, You're coming out feeling pretty good. 1250 next year. Oh, thank you, Jay Powell. Thank you for the stimmy check. Use promo code Northern at checkout. No, Costco's a good business. They don't have to give streamers affiliate codes. The service sells itself. This is a country in Africa. This is Mauritania, bro. This is Guyana? You're like Belize? You're not Panama. Are you El Salvador? Are you Guatemala? No, Guatemala's too far north, I think, man. Guatemala's is an unknown country, man. It's not Costa. Are you Costa Rica? I always think Costa Rica's kind of tiny, though. North? Okay, Guatemala. It's got to be Guatemala. History country is Guatemala. Okay, we get we get those. I really thought that was going to be in like Central Africa, man. It wasn't Guate? Not yet, anyway. Please. Oh, March 28th, 2014. Oh, man. I'm not a big 2014 guy. Paramount Pictures 2014. A drama adventure starring Russell Crowe from 2014. The end of the... Oh, it's Noah! Hawk Noah. Actually, Noah would love Haley Welch. You know why? Helps him remember. Hawk Tua. Really, everything Tua. Really, more than when you think about it. Lionsgate, week 2. It's not going to be Hunger Games Catching Fire. It would have easily cleared 100 milli already. Shailene Woodley. Fuck you, dude. This is like Divergent. Yep. That's the only Shailene Woodley movie I could possibly name, so I'm thankful it's that. Directed by Neil Berger. Ricky Gervais, 2014. Comedy, adventure, crime. The Muppets Most Wanted? Yes! Yes. Yes, this is Die Muppets. Die Muppets, die. I know it just says Die Muppets because they're in Germany. And then Statler says, looks like the reviews came out early. Ah! Oh, man. Muppets movies are good, man. Everybody knows it, but I mean, we got motherfuckers in here who don't respect Ocean's 11. Ty Burrell was going insane at the box office, man. He's also in Muppets Most Wanted. The fuck was Ty Burrell in where he's the star? He's leaving his mark on history. Mark. Max Charles. A young boy and his dog who happen to have a genius level IQ spring into action when their time machine is stolen and moments in history begin to be changed. There's just the whole cast of Modern Family, huh? Mr. Peabody and Sherman. All right. This shit made $272 million worldwide. I saw it in theaters. I mean this with no disrespect, because I was there just like, I don't know, 12 years ago or something like that. But is there like a funnier period in a person's life than like age 12 to 22? Like 10 years ago, I was 26. Like I was more similar to myself. I mean, not much has changed. Let's put it that way. But like from 12 to 22, you're like a fucking different person, man. That's crazy. So you're in here, like you have like maybe a real job. You're an adult. You might be like in a relationship with someone you think you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and maybe you will. But like 10 years ago, you saw Mr. Peabody and Sherman in theaters. That's fucking insane to me. Slow down, little bro. You got a lot of time left on planet Earth. Maybe like pump the brakes a little bit, okay? Save some milestones for your 30s, okay? That's insane. What do you mean you saw this in theaters, man? 10 years ago, my favorite movie was Bolt. What are you now? Like a fucking lawyer or something? An actuary? That's crazy, dude. Pure Flicks Entertainment. God's Not Dead. Yep. That's what they make, people. That's the movie they make, okay? How did you know that? Because it's a very noteworthy movie, man. I mean, it might be the funniest movie ever made. My mom took me to see this in theaters. I feel bad for you on that one, for sure. What happens in this movie? If I remember correctly, there's like a college class where the professor gives everybody an assignment that is like prove that God is real or something like that. And then, he gives them an assignment. Kevin Sorbo is an atheist. And because he's an atheist, he gets hit by a car or something like that. That's the movie. Is that correct? Is that a rough approximation of what happens? Yes, okay. You pretty much got it. He turns to Jesus while dying. Voltaire would never. Now's not the time to be making enemies, brother. Balto to Gone Baby Gone. Okay, I don't know who's in Balto. It's got a star-studded cast, man. Isn't this fucking... What the hell happened to Sheldon Cooper, man? Bazinga? Top 10 bazingas to not see at 4 a.m.? That's Jim Parsons. I thought he was going through it, man. Danny Mann. Frank Welker? Grandma from the Addams Family? What am I doing? Why am I here? George Costanza? Okay, Gone Baby Gone, Casey Affleck. Am I crazy to think that Carey Mulligan's in this too? Oh, Michelle Monaghan, Morgan Freeman, Ed Harris. Okay. Titus Welliver, Mark Margolis. Ding, ding. All right, well, let's just go to Casey Affleck. That's the easy play. Casey Affleck. Kevin Bacon, Mystic River, Tim Robbins, High Fidelity. I'm lost. No, I'm not. I've never been more found. Kevin Bacon. Bridget Fonda. Jet Li, The One. Jet Li, Lethal Weapon 4. Chris Rock. Give me a second here. Let's start spitballing it. Bridget Fonda, The One. Romeo Must Die. What the fuck? Which one? Chat, which one? You know what? I'll just scroll down. Apparently I'm fucking confused, guys. So Aaliyah is a Kiss of the Dragon. It's Kiss of the Dragon. Okay, that takes you to Jet Li. That takes you to Lethal Weapon 4. Now from Lethal Weapon 4, obviously you go Chris Rock. And then from Chris Rock, we're trying to get to Casey Affleck. Casey Affleck, of course, very famous for Good Will Hunting. Well, very famous for a lot of stuff. Amsterdam's Too Easy. Let's just scroll down, man. Just scroll down. Go to the Kings of Comedy USA, 2006. Here we are, man. Oh, look at this. The kings of comedy, dude. Sorry. Like, I'm just going to say, if you're deaf, you could tell who the comedian is just from the vibrations coming through your seat, okay? Hit it, Jim. Okay, sorry. Do Chris Rock now? No, who do you think I am? Michael Scott? You beating me is like Billy Crystal playing Scarface. Billy Crystal? Probably go to analyze this, analyze that, analyze this, analyze that. I'll probably go analyze this. Chaz Palminteri, Night of the Roxbury. Did you just grab my ass? Probably Dan Hedaya, Blood Simple. That takes you to Francis McDormand, who obviously is in Burn After Reading with George Clooney, who's in Good Will Hunting. Who's in Ocean's 11, though you may not want to admit it, with Matt Damon, who's in Good Will Hunting with Casey Affleck, who obviously directed Gone Baby Gone. Okay, time? 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Mystic River. Robbie Wahlberg? What is that, like the number 9 at Wahlburgers? Come on, man. Literally missed Robin Williams like 10 times. Bro, I miss him every day. You ever see 1 Hour Photo? Neon Genesis Evangelion. Silent Hill 2. Metacritic score of 84. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. Originally on the PlayStation 2. Final Fantasy 10-2. Action adventure, third person hack and slash is Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry? Devil May Cry 3? Oh, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. I only played the first one and DMC. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light. He knows. I know all about Dante and Trish, and then that big fucking annoying spider, man. I bought it as a PlayStation 2 greatest hit. MotoGP. Boys, it's going to be a good day. When you bought Xbox Live in 2003, 2004, Xbox Live, I don't know how to describe it. It came on a disc. Like you had to buy it from the store and then go home and like install Xbox Live on your Xbox. It came with a demo disc so you could play MotoGP online. It was literally one track. And I played that demo for like at least 25 hours if I had to guess. Because, yeah, and it's hard to put yourself in the shoes if you were if you're younger, I imagine. But just the novelty of playing against other human beings in anything was like enough to sustain you for weeks of free time. That and Fusion Frenzy on the Halo disc, dude, you wouldn't know shit about that. It felt insane. You'd be like, yeah, I lost. I lost to some motherfucker from California. Like, it made you feel important. Like, you were in the fucking arena, man. Nowadays, I'm like, get this California motherfucker out of my game. I want to win. Were you a PS2 online gamer? No, I never served in the US military. Project Gotham Racing 3. It's a Corvette or a Dodge Viper or a Camaro. Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. It's too photorealistic to not be. Shenmue? Am I insane to say this is Shenmue, man? Shenmue 3? It's so fucking... Okay, it's Midnight Club 2, which I also owned. But when I just saw... Just the framing was so fucking Shenmue coded, man. Good game. I remember... sorry, I apologize. I've told this story before. I was like 14, and I bought Midnight Club 2. And when I went to the store, there was a guy who's worked at the EB Games in my hometown since I was like 5 years old. And as of the last time I was there, he was still working there, which I'm not saying insulting. Like, I think he might be living his dream because he's risen through the ranks. He might be the CEO of the company for all I know. Anyway, I was like 12 or 14 or whatever. And I was like, I brought Midnight Club 2 up to the counter. And the guy was like, oh, this is a really great game. Where did you hear about it? And I was like, oh, I love everything that, like, I forget the name of the studio now even is. I was like, I love everything that they've made. And he was like, yeah, you know, they recently got bought by Rockstar. Like, he was trying to do like a measuring contest with me. And I was like, yeah, I know. Then they've been made into like Rockstar San Diego now. And he was like, oh, I didn't hear that. And I was like, I got you, bitch. I subscribe to official PlayStation magazine. This is the same EB Angel Studios. Maybe they became Rockstar London. I can't remember. But anyway, it's the same EB Games where I went in to buy my mom and dad Just Dance 3 for the Xbox with Kinect. And then next to me, there was like a guy went up to the counter and asked the cashier. He's like, hey, do you have any like good RPGs? And then the guy was like, yeah, why do you ask? And he's like, well, you just look like a guy who would like really know good video games. And then the cashier got defensive and was like, yeah, you know, this one's really good. I play this one with my girlfriend at home all the time. And they were having like a little bit of a, I don't know, a tete-a-tete, let's put it that way. You guys couldn't handle my EB Games. That EB Games in 2004, oh man. You guys are too soft. You wouldn't last a minute. It took a lot of grinding to get these views. How about Midnight Club Los Angeles? Not a great guess, all things considered. But actually, it's probably from this generation then. I mean, it's definitely, well, yeah. How about it like an Xbox 360 game from 2012? Or yeah, how about Far Cry 3? It's from fucking Ubisoft, man. It's later than 2012, and it's not a shooter. And it's not a driving game, which means it has to be Assassin's Creed. Oh, and it's not first person, man. Okay, so it could be Assassin's Creed 4. Oh shit. It's another Assassin's Creed game from 2013. Assassin's Creed Rogue. How many fucking Assassin's Creeds did they come out with in 2013, man? 3 Liberation? Assassin's Creed. It's a Freedom Cry? It is Freedom Cry. This is like, they were doing way too much back then, man. They were doing way, way, way too much in the early 2010s. What even is that? I don't know, man. And I should know. Because there was like 1, 2 Brotherhood, 2 Revelations, 3. And then there was like a side story for 3. And then there was a fucking Just the Ship one, which was Rogue. And then there was like a side-scrolling one for PC. That was like Assassin's Creed China or something. Like they came out with like 7 Assassin's Creed games in 18 months or something like that. It was insane. They're like Isaac episodes, man. They were squeezing it. They were, you're not wrong. They were squeezing the shit out of it, man. I see it's a Joe Thornton themed Puckdoku today. A teammate of Joe Thornton. Maybe you've heard of him. His name is Sergei Samsonov. Wow, 10%. That's usually like a 1%er. Joe Thornton, teammate who played for the Sharks. I mean, everyone's going to go like Chichu, maybe. I'm going to go Marcos. Marcos Sturm was part of the trade, you bitch. Let's go Dan Boyle. Joe Thornton's teammate on Toronto, Wayne Simmons. Boston Bruins, 1,000+ games in his career. Maybe you've heard of him. Adam Oates. 1,000+ games in his career on the San Jose Sharks. Well, was on the San Jose Sharks at one point. I mean, you could hit him with the easy like Joe Pavelski or something like that. But I'm trying to rack the brain a little bit. Is it Evgeny Nabokov? He played for a while. Oh, Mark Andrew Vlasic. 1,000+ games played. Also played for the Leafs. Maybe you've heard of his ass. His name is fucking. Maybe this is one of those guys who got like encephalitis or so. He played for 21 years. There's no shot he wasn't in 1,000. What? Are you shitting me, man? Bjorg Salming? We're keeping going. 500 penalty minutes in his career, plays for Boston or played for Boston. Bradley Marchand. Bet he wishes he could have gotten maybe like 1/500th of a goal last night. 500 PIMs, played for the Sharks. Bashir ever played for the Sharks? Who's a fucking a dirty player who played for the Sharks, man? Famously not Marlowe. Well, how about a defenseman, man? How about a defenseman? He's also... No, isn't he like perennially up for the Lady Byng Award? Who's beating this shit out of... Maybe Pavelski? Must have got... He's a center, right? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? It can't be done. Jeremy Roenick played for the Sharks for a minute, right? Yeah, okay. 500 PIMs for Toronto. Maybe you've heard of him. Fucking Eddie Shack. 1958 to 19... You wouldn't know shit about that. Eddie Shack on Hockey Night in Canada every Saturday. You wouldn't know shit about that. Can I say something? We got to take some of the penalties out of football, man. There's just too many penalties. Like, I don't know if it's just now that I'm older. I do want the game to be fair, but at the same time, it's such a buzzkill that there's like, hey, Patrick Mahomes drops back. He's about to be sacked. He shrugs off the linebacker. He a long bomb. And Travis Kelce brings it down in the end zone. And then some fucking nerd jogs out to the center. Number 16, defensive end for the defense, had his sock tucked into his shoe. The penalty is accepted. Redo first down. And you're like, what the fuck, man? Like 90% of all NFL plays take place in like a pocket universe where the results don't matter. This shit is annoying, man. Bold move by Andy Reid. There were offsetting penalties, okay? Don't worry about it. I know Apollo disagrees with me, but I really feel like if you catch the football and your toe touches the end zone, that's a touchdown. Why do you have to put both feet down in the end zone, man? It would be more touchdowns, I guess, but that would be cool. Because that's the rule. You're just begging for a boot to be placed on your head. You don't even care who's wearing the shoe, man. You crave being ruled by an iron fist instead of watching sick-ass touchdowns. entire puck has to cross the line too. Well, that just makes sense. As far as I'm concerned, as long as any part of the puck hasn't crossed the line, that's not a goal because 10% of the puck could dissent and filibuster. You don't even know. If you want to talk about hockey rules, there were like 2 seasons where if a skater had their foot in the crease, it went to video review for like 15 minutes where you would watch on these decrepit 1997 era cameras overhead and try to determine if like a single atom of a skate blade was inside of the crease, even though it wasn't touching the goaltender at all. But the thing is, after like 2 years, the NHL went, that's fucking stupid. Let's stop doing that. But I feel like the NFL is getting even worse, man. Can you explain the trapezoid? The trapezoid doesn't make sense if you don't watch hockey. But if you watched hockey from 1995 to 2004, the trapezoid makes sense. It's a penalty for a goaltender to touch the puck outside of the trapezoid behind their net. The reason they had to do that is because some goalies got so fucking good at handling the puck that the puck would come into the defensive zone, the goalie would leave the net to play it, and basically just yeet it down the ice, and they would never, ever have any chances against them. They would have like 6 shots against them. And yes, it was illegal to hit the goaltender as well. Well, it's on a case-by-case basis. If the goalie's good, then you have to avoid him. If he sucks, you can kind of cream him a little bit, but icing's such a terrible rule. You don't understand. It's terrible because it's hard for you to understand, but if you didn't have icing, hockey would be almost as boring as football is. Because literally, like, after you got hemmed into your zone for like a minute and a half, you could just yeet the puck wherever and suffer no consequences whatsoever. Bring back the 2-line pass. Why do you want the sport to be worse, man? The one hockey take that I will accept that makes the sport less exciting is getting rid of the shootout. Because the shootout really is like, it's fun to watch, but it does reward you with like regular season points for something that should be relegated to the All-Star game. That's about it, though. Like, I would accept it either way. High-sticking double minor should go. Well, it depends whether my team just high-stick someone or whether my team just got high-stuck. Because when Quinn Hughes gets his stick up a little high and it catches someone on the nose, I'm like, he's not even hurt, man, and you're going to give him a double minor? But then when somebody on the other team's not paying attention and like lightly brushes Quinn Hughes' nose, I'm like, he's fucking bleeding, man. There's no place for that shit in the game anymore. Get this guy out of the league. But it's interesting because it does mean that potentially the best hockey player of all time could just be somebody like with anemia, who's very short. If you could get like a 5'2" guy with anemia and just put him on the ice and have him sneak up like into the elbows of other players. Yo, you're right, Connor Garland, man. He's not the worst Hughes brother. Yeah, no shit, bro. He won the Norris last year. He's the best Hughes brother. Try to keep up. Anyway. Good Puckdoku today. Colin Farrell, Oscar-nominated film. I'd have to say Daredevil. Harry Mulligan, Oscar-nominated film. Harry Mulligan, one-word title. Maestro. Title starts with fucking Q to Z. I don't know. That's insanity. Oscar-nominated film. Uneducation. Colin Farrell, Oscar-nominated film. Banshees of Inisherin. Colin Farrell, one-word title. Ignore the. I mean, could go Lobster, but I mean, I'm also very tempted to go Daredevil. Okay, we should have gone Daredevil. Title starts with Q to Z. QRSTUV. The Batman. Doesn't say ignore the. Russell Crowe, Oscar-nominated film. Must have been nominated for like best ship. One word title. I mean, obviously there's Gladiator. There's got to be... Didn't he play like 3 popes last year? He was in like The Pope, The Pope's Exorcism, the one where he drives the moped. Russell Crowe. He's an American Gangster. Oh, he's in L.A. Confidential. What a picture. What a picture that L.A. Confidential is. Didn't win Best Picture at the Oscars. Could somebody tell me what won Best Picture at the Oscars instead of L.A. Confidential? Oh, he is in The Insider. What a fucking film, dude. Titanic? All right, Titanic is still pretty good. L.A. Confidential is better, but Titanic is weirdly enough kind of underrated. Anyway, it was not a goofy movie, okay? But let's go The Insider. It's a great film. Thank you for reminding me. Pink Moon Sun or 5 Leaves Left Daughter. It's got to be Pink Moon Sun. 5 Leaves Left still pretty good though. Time Has Told Me. How many songs does Nick Drake have where he goes dong dang da dang da dong dang da dang da dong dang da dang da dong dang? 1? No, he has at least Riverman and Time Has Told Me, okay? Russell Crowe. He's been in some shit, man. He's been in some fucking, I don't know. I give up. Saltburn. The nice guys Reddit user had their Reddit gold rescinded for this post. Oh, man. No! Reddit movie? Well, I don't know. Like, I think it's pretty good. But it is also... It's the suffering from being a cult classic, right? Like, when something comes out and is underappreciated, but is good, it can become a cult classic. But then it gets echoed so much as a cult classic that it's no longer a cult classic. It weirdly becomes, I don't want to say overrated, but like almost annoying, because whenever people are like, what's the most underrated movie of all time? Everybody says the same answer, which means that it can't be underrated. But like, I don't think anybody really cares. Most people are just trying to go to work and like get through the day. It's not that big of a deal.
Dither, a verb meaning shiver.
Some shit on Photoshop, right?
Cabin, a noun meaning...
So what is the most underrated movie? I would say Crank and Crank 2 High Voltage.
Tulip, a noun meaning any... Patrol, a noun meaning the action of traversing a...
Yes, okay. Patrol.
Flapped, a verb meaning to beat with or as if with a flap. Flapped, a verb meaning to beat...
Am I the only person who heard flout? Cool. That's a fun one. GoDaddy free credits ran out. I can't be mad. I don't even think... Well, how would I know if they're running ads on the site? Let's be honest. Beef steak kidney? Brother, this is steak and kidney pie. I'll make fun of British cuisine, like, as the day is long. They're doing some great work with meat pies, okay? If I'm at an English pub, 2/3 chance I'm getting the meat pies. We just don't do them right. We don't do them right in North America. They do them right in England. What's all this then? Blank steak, lime juice. Strange. It looks like very much like a Mexican dish, but with the presentation of rice at a Thai restaurant. Mexico. Warm. Brazil? I mean, it's pretty far away. Cool. Vaca frita. Guatemala. That borders. Costa Rica. Dominican No, that's not how that works. Nicaragua? Guatemala? Honduras? Oh. I didn't even think about the islands, man. I didn't even think about the islands. Stale bread, olive oil, garlic, chorizo, tomatoes. It's like bread paella, man. Migos. I guess it's stuffing. That's a good point. I can't get over the fact that I didn't get Cuba, man. It hurts, man. It hurts. It's a top 10 Spanish food. What does Spain know about food anyway? They're too busy sleeping to eat. -2. Oh, learn to laugh a little bit. We only get one trip around this blue marble, okay? This dude definitely has work in the morning. That's all I'm going to say. It's called dark humor. Absolutely no idea. Are you super hands? Okay, Jordana Brewster's in this, apparently. I'd recognize her anywhere. Perhaps this movie is The Fast and the Furious. Yep. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster, super hands. How'd you know that? I don't know if Jordana Brewster has been in any movie that has made it to theaters that does not have The Fast and the Furious in the title. Spain, third best Mediterranean cuisine after Italy and Greece. Diogo, I'm not going to argue with you. I think you got the order right. Can I say something? Maybe this is a Canadian or like a North American thing. Why are there so few Spanish restaurants compared to where Spain hits on like the culinary rankings worldwide? There's Italian restaurants everywhere, Greek restaurants everywhere, Lebanese restaurants, Portuguese restaurants. Tapas everywhere? It's not everywhere. There's tapas around, but it's like there's like one tapas restaurant here for every 12 Italian restaurants, if I had to guess. There's less diaspora. Really? I guess I don't know the history of Spain in like the 19th and 20th centuries that much. I mostly just know kind of like the Spanish Civil War and siesta. They were a dictatorship? Yeah, I know. I know the Spanish Civil War, yeah. I mean, I know like a lot. Maybe that is it. Maybe it's the diaspora, man. It's like a lot less information. Spanish, like from, do you say Spanish, I guess, if it's from Spain? Spanish culture has not permeated North America as much as like Italian culture is so intertwined with American culture that like New York to me feels more Italian than Italy. But anytime I see like a Spanish restaurant, I'm kind of like, whoa, that's surprising. A Spanish restaurant out here? North American take? This was all handled in the syllabus. The required reading that you were supposed to do over the summer explained the context for the lecture that you're receiving right now. Go to Bergamo? I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a region in Spain or it's a restaurant in Burnaby. Either way, I'm not going. It's too far away, especially Burnaby. Cinematrix. It's a Galician sauce. How do I go there? I don't know. Am I... Maybe you're talking past me. I don't get it. George Clooney, Matt Damon. That's a tough one. I'm going to say Ocean's 11. George Clooney, 2010 to 2019. George Clooney, 2010 to 2019. The Descendants. When Alexander Payne meets Alexander Gain. $100 million plus at the worldwide box office. Hang on. Emily Blunt, Matt Damon. The Adjustment Bureau. I got to get that one out before it gets purged from my brain. Emily Blunt, 2010 to 2019. Mary Poppins Returns. I'm a fucking genius, because then I can put Edge of Tomorrow here instead of shoving it in there. Casey Affleck, Matt Damon, Good Will Hunting. Casey Affleck, 2010 to 2019. No, Manchester by the Sea. I don't know if he's in Gone Girl. I mean, Ben is, but $100 million plus of the worldwide box office. $100 million plus of the worldwide box office. No! No, man. We had it in the palm of our hand. Well, anyway. George Clooney, $100 million plus of the worldwide box office. Yeah, I'm thinking Batman and Robin. Top 52%. Close this shit. Show me the... I want to keep playing. What would I say for Casey Affleck? Molly's Game? Okay, he is in Ocean's 11. He's in Paranorman. Is he in Molly's Game? Interstellar! Interstellar! Manchester by the Sea is ass, by the way. Don't be shy, DL Guiga. What's your favorite movie? I'm happy to have you back in chat, by the way. I know it's the Wednesday, like the day before Thanksgiving, so the financial industry is completely shut down, right? And probably won't. Well, what do they say? Sell in May, go away. When do you come back? April? Anyway, hope you're doing well, brother. Lost in Translation, Beast Mode, I'm afraid. Great movie. Underrated movie. I know it sounds crazy to say it's underrated, but I think it's because like it always shows up in like lists of movies you have to watch. So 17-year-olds find it and watch it and don't get it and go, I don't get it. It's kind of boring. It's no Spider-Man. It's super glazed. Yeah, by people who know what they're talking about. Better than Ocean's 11? That's a tough one. More emotionally resonant, without a doubt. Better? That's tough. A 2012 photo posted to Reddit by Brian Bundesen launched the internet stardom of what 2010's icon? Unidan? I'm not joking. I'm thinking it's like Bad Luck Brian, Scumbag Steve, Overly Attached Girlfriend. Like, I don't know what to say. Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat. I was like 2 years off. At 15% of the population, Tamils are a vocal minority in what country? Sri Lanka. The first foreign product sanctioned for sale in the USSR was what beverage Caleb Bradham invented in 1893? I mean, the Coca-Cola is like the easy guess, but like, I don't think it's going to be Coca-Cola, man. I think it's going to be Dr. Pepper. Oh. A hilarious Back to the Future interaction as Marty asking a 1950s soda jerk for a Pepsi free. Pepsi. I was on the right track. Coca-Cola was too easy. Pepsi was the real answer. A Brief History of France was the first full-length book published with what unique kind of writing? Shorthand? Oh, Braille. Braille. That makes more sense. Yeah, it is definitely not typeset. I'm pretty sure that shit was in... Steve Gutenberg did that shit back in like the 30s. The 1330s. Hold the Jennifer Garner, people. Anyway. Long before the Queen of Hearts, the command "off with his head" was cried by what Shakespeare king? I mean, that sounds like Henry... That sounds like I can't type. Sounds like Henry VIII if I've ever... Is that even a Shakespeare play? What title character meets a parade of 11 ghosts who all accurately prophesy his own imminent death? I mean, King Lear is like... I probably should have just typed that first. An English king with the same name as the Lionheart. Richard III. Richard III was discovered under a parking lot in 2012? That's like Chiblee, Cleopatra will be found by no man. He was? That's crazy. They really paved paradise and put up a fucking parking lot. I was thinking about that. You think Joni Mitchell should release like a 2024 update of Big Yellow Taxi? Because honestly, these days, I'd kind of be stoked to get into the tree museum for $1.50. They took all the trees and put them in a tree museum. They charge the people $1.50 to see them. What is it? Fucking like pay what you want day? Nowadays, that shit would be like $19.99. In this economy, exactly, man. And they went through all the trouble of getting all the trees for me so I don't have to get them myself? Or she should at least update it to be like, they paved paradise and they put up a parking lot. Plus, then they charged us for parking. Like, it was bad enough when they paved paradise and just made it a place for cars, but then they made us pay to park on top of what used to be paradise, which is fucked up. That shit is... I mean, that's ridiculous. I can see where she's coming from. Let me put it that way. Slowest dulls of all time today, for sure. No question about that. Sort these fictional things in rainbow order? Is that a thing? Outermost color to innermost. Outermost to innermost? What the... Okay, no, that's fine. I was thinking of it like the middle is like green because it's Roy G. Biv, and like red and violet were equidistant from the middle, but you're talking a real rainbow. Okay. So it's red is the outermost, and the top half of a Pokeball is red. Curious George's caretaker's hat is yellow. The Lorax's fur is orange. So this is Roy. Marge Simpson's hair is blue. I think Peppermint Patty wears a green shirt. Marge Simpson, Biv, Roy G. Biv. He's a god, man. He's a god. It doesn't get any easier than that. This is what the SAT question should really be like. They didn't try today? Isn't the Lorax yellow? Wiggler, I'm going to give you a little break because your kid is like 10 months old. Lorax is fucking orange, my dude. Go read a book sometime, okay? You'll be doing it a lot, I promise. What was the one from yesterday? Next, you're going to tell me you don't know shit about LOEs. I don't either. More people with a STEM degree. I'm not punching down. You think it's Illinois 07, including Chicago, or Russellville, Arkansas? Me personally, I think it's probably Chicago. Less access to hospitals, I'm going to say Alaska. Higher population weighted density. What does that mean? I'm just going to say higher density. This is like, I'm assuming Turkey has way more people than Ireland. And I'm going to click on Turkey. I was going to talk myself out of it and be like, but I'm sure lots of it is like desert or steppes or whatever. Higher percentage of people in poverty. Tucson or Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo? I say Grand Rapids. It was a tough one. What was my reasoning? I always think of, when I think of Arizona as a state, the heuristic I use is that retirees move there and probably bring a non-poverty amount of money with them. But the heuristic failed here. Not to Tucson? Really? But they mention it in songs. I went from Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to, that's Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA, northern Tucson, Arizona, where the girls are warm. Higher percentage of people employed in computer and mathematical occupations. I'm going to say New Jersey. What? Isn't like 98% of New Jersey employed full-time trying to get their kids into Ivy League schools? Oh, Texas Instruments is in that district. No! Not in Trenton? Really? It wasn't even close, honestly. They should do one of these in Canada. You guys would finally understand how it feels. When they're like, what city consumes more Slurpees? Kingston, Ontario, or Winnipeg? I'd be like, bro, snap pick Winnipeg. It's the Slurpee capital of the world. You'd be like, I don't know, Ontario, because it gets warmer than it does in Winnipeg. And I'd be like, you fucking idiot. Manitobans go apeshit over Slurpees, you fucking idiot. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. Try being the largest economy first. Okay, ni hao, motherfucker. I didn't realize you were chatting live from fucking Shanghai. Oh, I meant largest economy per capita. Who cares about what you produce for the economy per capita? How about what you take home per capita? In which case, your ass is getting shellacked by fucking Luxembourg, Switzerland. Shut the fuck up. You're like me. You're a speck of dust. And you're like, my window's shinier. We didn't do that shit, man. We didn't play a role in that. Stop taking credit for fucking the post-war boom and the Marshall Plan and shit, okay? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Thoughts on Burgermeister? I don't know what that is. Is that like a Holy Roman Emperor or something? I'm being serious. What is Burgermeister? It's a restaurant? I got nothing for you. I'm a pretty simple man. In 2024, if you ask me where to go for dinner, the odds that I pick a restaurant that has burger in the title is very low. Now, on the menu, sure. But if the restaurant is called Burger Blank or Blank Burger, the odds of me going there are pretty low. You could catch me now and then at Rice Burger, which I think if I had, it's like West 10th for sure. It's West 10th and I'm going to say Trimble Street on the west side of Vancouver. Rice Burger, don't get the burger. I've never had it. It might be amazing. Don't get the burger. Get the chicken katsu bowl. Weirdly enough, the fucking best chicken katsu I've had in Vancouver. Maybe the best chicken katsu I've ever had outside of Japan. Go check it out. It's good, man. I promise you it's good. Better than Saku? I don't fuck with Saku. I think Saku's good, but there's two things I want to say about Saku, okay? One is, and this is one is a personal problem, one is a philosophical problem. The personal problem that I have with Saku is that I think it's a little oily, and when I eat it, my guts bubble up a little bit. But you might not have the same kind of like grease sensitivity that I do. I think it's related to the health of my internal biome. The second thing is I've eaten the Saku many times. I've eaten the Saku on Robson. I've eaten the Saku on West Broadway. When they first start expanding, I'm like, get the bag. But then I saw the owner on Dragon's Den trying to get more money to franchise the restaurant across the rest of the country. And I said, I'm done with Saku. You know why? Because the dude is not running a restaurant anymore. He's running a business. And that's fine. I hope they spread their tasty food across the country, but I'm no longer going to be a part of it. I would rather eat at a restaurant that's run by like a 71-year-old man who's like his lifelong dream was just to cook katsu curry instead of like, I want to be the CEO of Saku Industries. I get it. Because you can't make $1 billion running one restaurant. But that's where I draw the line. Also, it's inconvenient for me to get to now. So, but Rice Burger, dude, I'm telling you, Rice Burgers, they're doing great work over there. If you're in Vancouver, check it out. It's a little out of the way. What did we just play? Oh, pick 5. Dude, I'm cracked at this. What the hell? Does this even make sense? Brochures? Like, see, here's where I'm confused. They're not, maybe I'm ignorant, okay? Tell me if you work in the import-export business. Do you get your brochures like printed in Vietnam and then they ship the printed brochures? Or do you get a tri-folded piece of paper and then you print it yourself? I just never thought about brochures as being like a good, I guess. I thought it was something you printed on your own inkjet in your office, but I guess I'm just gonna start with Vietnam. It just came to the top of my head. That was a horrible guess. I guess I would go China. That's up there for sure. $2 billion in brochures. $2 billion. Soon it's going to get 25% tariffs. They should be so lucky, dude. Are you guys ready? All you free viewers, you're about to have to pay 25% more for the stream if you live in the United States anyway. Because I single-handedly haven't stopped fentanyl from going across the border. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I did, but I fucked up pretty bad, man. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to stop as much fent from making it across the border as I can, but I guess some slipped through. No, I deserve it. I'll do better. I'll do better. Oh, man. Mexico, maybe? Maybe they're printing them in Mexico and shipping them to the U.S. I mean, it's 200 million brochures, man. Some dude's living in like a huge palatial estate just off brochure money. India? At least let me get a bronze today, man. Ah, shit. Oh, that's horrible. I don't think it's going to be Germany today, guys. Malaysia? Bangladesh? Malaysia? Bangladesh? Malaysia? No. United States. The United States is exporting the brochures. It was Germany too. You're not wrong. It's on literally everyone. Everyone. Well, they produce them and send them to embassies. $2 billion in brochures being sent to embassies. Listen, I know America uses paper, but that's not an export. I'm just kind of confused about like, I mean, I'm not an economist. The ugly guy, I really need you to back me up here. I thought, because I saw the video of that like 61-year-old man explaining the difference between like the US economy and the Chinese economy. I thought the US exported stuff like, airplanes and military equipment and stuff like that, stuff that was like highly specialized. And then stuff like brochures, which I've been making in like print shop since I was 9 years old. I kind of thought like the labor cost of making a brochure would be too high in America for other countries to be like, you let me get some of those American brochures. But I don't know. Maybe they're fucking amazing at making brochures. They're third in paper exports. This isn't paper. These are brochures. The paper I get. I kind of thought the US would be sending the paper overseas and then they'd be printing the ink on them elsewhere and then sending them back to America. Kind of like how you buy like mangoes and the mangoes are like a product of Canada, and then you look at the container and it's like the mangoes were harvested in the Philippines and cut in Malaysia and then packaged in Canada. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess maybe the US is like the world capital of printer ink too. I don't know. Could be. What do you think about Uncrustables nearing 1 billion in sales this year? I don't know what opinion you think I should have on that. That seems not that crazy. $3 per American per year. It's a setup? I don't think it's a setup at all. I don't eat that shit. Yeah, but like for every one of you, there's like an 8-year-old who eats 2 a week. So they're eating Lunchly's profits. That's the important part. Graph.world is a big one. I can't do Graph.world. It tilted me too much. I got in such a cyclical argument with chat last time. I don't think I can do it. Because it was the one where it was like it was seasonal spending on daycare, but the spending went down in the summer. And I was like, why would spending go down in the summer? School's out. You need daycare. And then everyone in chat was like, because there's no school. And I'm like, yeah, because there's no school. Spending would need to go up on childcare. And the people were like, but school's out. And I'm like, because school is out, spending goes up on childcare. And they were like, but there's no school. And I was... They're trying to tell me the older kid babysits like it's fucking 1906 Oklahoma again. Like the average family in America doesn't have like 1.02 kids. Shit was pissing me off. I just looked up the biggest brochure importer, and it's also the US. I think we just discovered some kind of money laundering ring. Don't they do that with like petroleum too? Aren't they like the trick is they export the shit brochures, guys. They export the shit brochures. And then they keep the good ones for themselves. If you've ever gotten a brochure in America, you know it's just the stock of the paper feels different. The look of it, the smell of it. All right, /marker me. What am I going to do for